Thank you for checking out this video and taking some time to maybe connect with yourself and with your breath. My name is Ashley. I am a 500-hour yoga teacher with a 300-hour trauma training as well from TCTSY. If you'd like to, you're welcome to join me in whatever space is around you. I'm going to be practicing in a chair today. You're welcome to do this practice from the floor, perhaps laying in your bed or sitting in your bed, for instance, or on your couch, just wherever you find a surface that works for you today. You're welcome to engage with this practice as you are able to, and maybe save it for later. So coming to, a couch, perhaps your chair from work, or maybe your bed, and just beginning to soften the eyes or to gaze maybe towards the floor, or to perhaps let your body find whatever seat is available to you today. Take a few moments to notice your own breath. Your hands can be wherever's comfortable. Eyes can be opened or closed. If it interests you, you might extend or deeper breath at any point in time. You're also welcome to stay breathing how you are. You might center, and maybe perhaps you'd like to carry a word or a thought or an idea with you through the practice, maybe something you'd like to add into your life, or perhaps maybe even something you feel like is getting in your way. And you don't have to think of anything at all, just an option, an invitation. You might start to roll your shoulders, maybe towards your ears and down your back. That could look like your arms coming beside you or staying on your thighs. When you've rolled them a few times in the backward direction, then maybe you start to roll them forward, making them as little or as big as you'd like. And then maybe pausing for a moment with the shoulders still. And then if it feels good to you or something you'd like to engage in, let your arms maybe hang down beside you and allowing everything to kind of relax down. And you're welcome to hold the chair or to bring your hand to your thigh and maybe stretch your other arm up. You can choose to start with your right or your left. We'll do both sides. So coming up, that arm might be bent or perhaps reaching towards the ceiling. You might move between the two of bending and straightening. And then an additional option might be to lean a little bit with that arm over towards the arm that's holding the chair or your thigh. And you might come up and bend that arm down, and perhaps come over, side bending. Any amount that interests you or feels good in your body, you kind of take the option for yourself. And maybe you don't use your arm at all, maybe just leaning, maybe perhaps leaning without the arm. And if and when you're ready, you might find your way to the other side. Might be the arm raising up and lowering. Be holding it up if that's something that interests you, or maybe going between the two. And then perhaps you add that lean in, leaning in. Maybe as you lean, that arm comes back down as you lift up and raises as you lean. Again, you might lean without using the arm at all. And when you're ready, you might come back to a central or neutral place. And perhaps letting your hands rest on your thighs if that feels okay to you today. And you might pull your shoulder blades back, squeezing backwards, and then rounding through the back. From the side, it's pulling the shoulder blades back and rounding forward, pulling those shoulder blades back and rounding forward. And you can do this by gliding your hands, or perhaps you'd like to make it a little bigger or change the sensation by perhaps opening the arms up and reaching forward. Maybe you're syncing your breath up to the movement. Inhaling or exhaling in one direction and then doing the opposite in the other direction. And whenever you feel ready, you're welcome to stop or to pause back towards neutral. Kind of link some movement together here. You take this as big or as small as you'd like to move. You make the choices along the way here, letting maybe the arms perhaps reach up, maybe come together. Maybe your hands move towards your thighs and you fold in some manner that is interesting in your body, and then maybe lift halfway, thinking about having a flat back still, and then refold, and then you might pull your shoulder blades together, reaching your chest forward, and then refolding, and allowing yourself to come all the way back up, arms reaching up and together, back down towards your thighs, folding. Now lifting that halfway point, refolding, and perhaps picking up that left leg, pulling it in, setting it back down, refolding, and perhaps picking up that right leg, pick it up as high or as low as you want, refolding. Feel your shoulder blades to maybe touch or reach towards one another. The chest is reaching forward, and then folding again, and then coming back up. Maybe reaching through the arms, or maybe the hands just come at center. Going down, refolding, finding that halfway lift. And then as you fold, think about maybe rocking a little side to side. Maybe you reach towards the floor. You can have blocks or maybe pillows or books or another surface. Maybe moving through your head or neck. And then as you start to come up, take that left leg up and in. Maybe you hold around the kneecap. Maybe you're using one hand to hold the knee. Maybe you start to find some circles with that left hip or some in and out movement. Maybe there's some circles in one direction and then maybe the other direction, or some in and out movement. You kind of choose what seems most interesting for your hip today. Doing it at your own pace. Then replacing that foot down and maybe folding one more time here. And then grabbing hold of that right leg. Maybe you're holding both hands around and circling. Maybe you're just using your right hand. And again, you might experience circles if that interests you more, or you might decide to do the in and out motion. Kind of finding what works best for you and feels most interesting and most useful in your body today. Ready, placing that foot back down on the ground and maybe folding one more time. Pressing into your feet and coming up. If you would like to, you can slide out on your chair a little bit more. And if you're on your bed, maybe you just extend one of your legs, reaching and flexing perhaps through one of your feet. And you're pressing through the other foot, kind of thinking about folding forward and maybe feeling a sense of sensation through the back of the right leg as you fold. You're welcome to use the supportive blocks if you have them at home. Otherwise, you can kind of keep one hand on a thigh and the other hand on the outstretched thigh. Finding maybe your own sensation of breathing here. One or two more rounds of breath. And then you might slide that leg in, and perhaps you take and bring that ankle to rest on the opposite thigh. Your leg could be extended. It could be moved in a little bit, might be right underneath the knee. If you do have a block at home, you're welcome to put a block and let your outer foot rest on a block. And then to find a fold. Maybe some movement. So maybe a little bit moving right or left. Maybe just feeling how the sensation might change as you move. When you're ready, maybe lifting back up. And then you can take that block out of the way if you're using a block, or take your leg off of your thigh. We'll extend through the other leg and finding that folding sensation forward. You're kind of using the leg that has the foot on the ground as a support. Maybe finding your own breathing pattern here. Coming back up when you're ready, and either taking that left or right ankle to the opposite thigh, depending on what you started with, it doesn't matter. And then again, you can choose to move forward or to maybe set your foot on a block. And then moving forward, kind of your choice, deciding what works best for you, what feels most accessible in your body today. Having a little bit of soreness and stiffness, so I'm going to take the option of using the block. Finding that movement if you want, or you might be in stillness. Maybe in your own timing, you might move out of that shape, taking that block out of the way if you used one. Coming to bring yourself back onto your chair. Just a small movement practice. So maybe taking time now, if it's available to you, to find yourself sliding back in the chair or the couch, or maybe resting back in your bed, maybe your office chair. Your palms can be on your thighs, flipped up or down. Maybe they're curled in your lap. Your eyes may soften closed, or maybe you're focusing on the floor, or maybe somewhere on the ceiling if you're laying down. Maybe you tune in to the natural inhale and exhale as it leaves your body, perhaps feeling your own inhales and exhales. Maybe they're moving through your belly or your chest. Maybe you, if it's available to you, offer some words of gratitude for turning this video on, taking some time to move with your body and your breath. You're welcome to rest a little bit longer. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. Hope you enjoyed. Share in the comments if there is anything more that you'd like to see some videos of.